So, those of you that aren't aware, the semifinals today are going to be best of fives. I can't remember if we went over this at the start. You know, it's early. Forgive us. Daylight savings messes us all up. But semifinals are going to be best of fives, and the finals are going to be best of sevens. So, we got a cool. We got a lot of bar. We got a lot of bar in front of us today. If you have to guess, you know, Barcast, is there any map in this pool that either of these players is like totally dominant favored on, if in your opinion?
That's tough because they're both at like such a high level. I think it'd be hard to kind of give them like a big advantage over the other player. And of course they've been practicing the maps, right? So they're more than familiar with like the meta and the strategies. But I'm thinking they would actually be just looking to ban the smaller maps and play those like bigger macro maps so they can kind of show their stuff.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I kind of agree. Yeah, you know, Blodir and XFactor very similar in that they're just kind of good in every parts of bar, and they're solid macro players. And look, okay, look, pick ban questions coming up, and I look over and look, they've already answered it. Look at these players; they're actually organized. It's crazy. And yeah, I don't know if there's a map that really either one of them is favored on. They're just solid. But as you can see, Red Comet already banned away.
You know. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe High Noon I would give towards X Factor, just because I think he's got a little bit deeper knowledge of some of the, like maybe more technical parts of like how to snipe AGOs and stuff like that. So maybe I'd say yeah, High Noon,
Yeah,
little X Factor period.
Yeah, maybe. I think one thing you know I've definitely noticed in all that I've seen Blodir is while he's insane, very strong, very aggressive player, he doesn't always cook builds like we've seen X Factor do, right? X Factor sometimes just does insane things that end up working, right? Like he's actually a bit of a chef, whereas Blodir's just solid, consistent, and High Noon seems like one of those maps that would really benefit being a little bit more of a chef.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just looking that we have another ban on Canis, which you know, not all that surprising, I think, because you know X Factor was the one that said this map is a little bit more figured out. Blodir picking Arcs and Cats, which makes sense as that map has been like the staple of bar 1v1. I feel like for the last year. Very solid map. Everybody likes it. Horus for X Factor as the pick. Kind of interesting. It's
Yeah,
not really the map I thought he would pick.
yeah, that makes me think he's got something prepared then if he's picking such like a I don't want to say like off meta map, but something I wouldn't expect him to pick, right? So
Yeah. Blodir banning into Battle Redux with X Factor following up with a ban on CCR. Blodir saying, I don't know what to pick, to be honest. Post piles for variety. I like that. I like that answer.
trying to get him to pick High Noon.
Yeah. So we got post piles
Okay.
into High Noon, which leaves Pools of Illis, right?
Yep.
For... yeah, wait. In my brain, I thought that was X Factor saying High Noon. I thought that was you. Okay. He actually listened. That's so funny. All right, nice. Nice. I like to see that. Well, so once again, if you are not familiar with how the BPL is run, we kind of cycle between different casters, right? Like, everybody gets a chance to cast, and kind of... It makes it easy so one person isn't just blaring their voice the whole time and breaking their vocal cords. So, for the first set, Hells and I are going to be your casters of choice, but we will be swapping out later on. Hopefully Hells is here, because I need my partner in crime as these guys are getting ready.
Always.
Right,
Ready
perfect.
and waiting.
Perfect. Well, our first game is going to be Arkham Cats. I know you just watched a game on this, Hells. You know, let's not talk about who or what happened. But it was
Nothing bad happened to anyone in this conversation.
yeah. I noticed on Arkham Cats, it's been kind of interesting how, like, I don't want to say figured out, but like stable this map has gotten. It's just because with how often it's been played. Do you think we're going to see anything creative, or do you think we're just going to see kind of standard play from these guys?
It seems to me that the early game is figured out on Arts and Cats. So you're going to see either Grunt or Incisor opening. Both players are going to split the map pretty much down the middle, or if they get an advantage, kill their opponent on wherever they get the advantage. But if it stabilizes, that's where I think it gets interesting, because we're used to seeing the T2 transition, but bombers are very effective on this map. So, I don't know, we could see a variety of mid-game adaptions, I think. That's assuming both players go Cortex. If one player goes ARM or both players go ARM, who knows? I no longer know what the meta would be.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be actually, I kind of agree. It's going to be very interesting to see what their, oh god, we get the spinning, nice, I love that. It's going to be interesting to see, you know, what their lab choices are. You know, we've seen a lot of, shockingly, Cortex. We've seen a lot of Cortex.
A lot of Cortex.
But, you know, ARM still has some fun tools in like the tier 2 and onwards phase that you know, maybe we'll see something interesting.
I think of all the players here, XFactor has shown a willingness to pick ARM, and I think some people are discounting how dangerous, really aggressive ARM aggro will be. And we're seeing the first spicy little start out here, and we see the arm pick out of XFactor going for what I assume is going to be a very aggressive opening. The early game arm aggro that a lot of players have just kind of left alone. Yeah. And Blodir is probably going to go for his standard 2-max bot lab start, and honestly, I feel like Blodir's start is a really safe and stable start, so unless this catches him wildly unprepared?
Yeah, I mean, we saw a map or a game like this earlier today, right on Red Comet, where that XFactor did a similar build, but it was a much like smaller map, right? Like it was much easier to get that aggression and punish like a 3-max open. Arkham Cats isn't that small. This is going to be interesting to see if he can get any damage done.
It's interesting because I was looking at his queue. He also has actually got a lot of cons queued up, XFactor. And so he might be trying to like fake out aggro Blodir and just deny space while taking his own expansions behind that. But I don't know, this is a very, very aggressive start. And I think you mentioned, like, XFactor is a player that's willing to cook. He's going to be doing aggressive things. He's going to be doing crazy things. This is a really
already walking, right?
odd start.
Yeah, like he's already walking. The first ticks are coming out and not going in the direction that I thought they would go. Is this a mind game? I think it is.
I think so. It is. But
it's like Blodir didn't even.
This is fascinating.
Yeah, this is actually like they're rock paper scissoring each other almost, like, right? Like they're kind of like they're in each other's head. I guess rock paper scissors. They're like 4D chess.
I think Blodir's playing rock at the moment, and XFactor's trying to find where the paper is, because he's definitely mind gaming with these ticks movements to make it look like he's coming through the center.
Yeah.
But he's giving up a lot of mexes early and a lot of build power. I don't know.
I mean, I don't either. I mean,
it's dangerous.
Blodir did do a 2-max open instead of a 3, right? So he had his lab up decently early. So this just ends up being kind of like you said, of like a fake out aggression build, as XFactor is just
XFactor does sneak in.
He's just behind, right? Like, oh, this is kind of funny with the tick. He's actually gonna. Oh, you actually almost missmicroed that.
He does get it. But Blodir's going to find this out. The grunt is nearly over the map, and he's going to be like, hold on a second.
The funny thing is, well, XFactor did kill that Max. Like, he's gotten damage, but he's done more damage to himself already just with the 1-mech spawn that, like, it doesn't offset how much he's already taken. I actually like the palm walk here.
What's difficult is Blodir's going to be in an awkward position where this commander is going to show up, and his commander is going to be really off-center for this. And I think that tick getting up, I'm pretty sure Blodir normally puts a radar where that Mex was that died, and there's no radar this time.
Yeah, Blodir's
So he doesn't even know this is coming. He's about to see the commander.
He's also seen that there's nothing in the main base, so he smells trouble.
Something is happening. Trouble is afoot.
Oh, this maybe is a mistake. Blodir's sending all of his grunts across the map. He's actually not. I don't think he's respecting this.
He stalled. He didn't see this coming.
Oh.
These pawns are going to get into his back line. His commander has to run quickly.
An LT
is up.
There's a couple thugs out. If Blodir has enough time to get his commander back, maybe
he has so many pawns just sitting defending, but they're defending nothing. There's nothing there. He's finally bringing his units back. If he's counterattack and reach XFactor's main base, he's fine, but this is scary. This is like a scary minute that he needs to defend extremely well.
How does XFactor handle the thugs, though? Right? Like, in this position, if Blodir...
I don't think he can.
If Blodir can get his commander over, I mean, I don't see how XFactor handles this. Like there's just going to be thugs coming out in his face.
Honestly, the thug play so quickly, switching into thugs and dropping more LLTs, could well stabilize everything, and XFactor might have to be careful with his commander.
Yeah, but XFactor is reacting quite well, I think, to the reach around from Blodir, and Blodir actually not reacting is going to lose all of these grunts for essentially nothing.
Yeah, this is really nice for XFactor. I mean, behind this all, Blodir still has an economic lead, but XFactor is starting to pick off the expansions. The cons are going down. XFactor does lose these grunts there, or pawns there, but if he gets both of these cons, that's massive, and I think he's going to get both of them.
Get both.
Yeah, both go down.
There is a resbomb in
Blodir
position
micros,
already, but it is like, yeah, it's a
Blodir really... Both players having some rough micro going on here. The resbot will help Blodir out with stabilizing, and we see them prodding everywhere, but
XFactor's already having to run away, right? Like, the thug pressure is just kind of too big. And his commander being that much under threat. Did this do enough? It killed a lot of expansions. I mean, it killed expanding cons.
I think it did enough. I actually think this did enough, and it like fully destabilized Blodir's game plan. And honestly, if you look at the map at where the pawns are running and how everything's going, a lot of this play is favoring, I would say, XFactor still, and he's economically equalized, if not ahead, almost. In terms of the per second, not current production, though.
Yeah. It is looking like Blodir is going to manage to defend against that pawn run by in mid, and in fact left quite a few wrecks on Blodir's side of the map.
Yeah.
That might
in that case, I'm honestly going to say this kind of reaches a weird equalized game state, in all honesty.
Yeah, Blodir is slightly ahead of Metal Produced in army value, which I mean that matters a bit, but I'm wondering where we go from here. Like, at this position that XFactor's in, I don't know. I don't know if I think he's got more of a lead than I expected, actually, or more of a equal economy than I expected, I guess, seeing how this started.
I think what mattered was that catch on the two cons that were expanding down.
Yeah,
if that didn't happen, it was going to be borderline lights out. But both of those cons, as you show, are resurrected now, and they're going to keep expanding. And if Blodir's counter thrust here in the center finds XFactor's two cons, and I think there's not enough units here to defend against this yet.
Ooh.
This is where the game might start swinging, and we have a fight as well on Blodir's side. Both sides engaging simultaneously. Good luck catching them.
I don't know if Blodir's gonna get. He should be able to get it if he keeps pressuring, but there is kind of like too many other things going on.
We can just take the Nexus, right? But yeah, but he needs to watch these thugs, make sure he doesn't lose anything here. This game is really equalized.
Like
very much so.
Blodir's splitting off. He's gonna grab a couple of the mexes, grab a radar. Hopefully he can manage
take out some of the res bots.
That's really good. I don't think he's gonna manage to get this.
Swing back. Oh, I think he takes out the con though. The con got caught, possibly. Oh no, he walked into the LLT.
Well, I mean, that's
But
some
he
damage.
does win this engage. But some damage that slows X-Factor's re-expansion while Blodir is expanding behind that. Blodir is winning the little fights, and he has contained X-Factor's commander. The real question is this group of pawns to the south that X-Factor has, if they activate at the right time and find Blodir's expansions again. But he pulls them back. He's grouping up to make sure that he can contest the area, and again, no, he sends them back again. I take it back. They're changing their minds as we're looking at their plays.
Yeah, I mean, X-Factor at the end of all of that did have a bit of a medal second lead, but he's definitely lost that by now. Like, Blodir has re-expanded quite aggressively. He's retaken a lot of mexes. Like you said, that pawn little blob in the south is a little bit dangerous for Blodir, but he had like any lead X-Factor, any chance to catch up to Blodir that X-Factor had is kind of slipping away, I feel like.
The funny thing is that X-Factor has got an energy per second lead at the moment and has actually moved into an energy production lead, but that might just be the arm matchup swinging in his favor. Blodir opting for this is, I think, really smart. If both players are destabilized, the first player to destabilize the other person more is going to be at an advantage, and we see X-Factor switching into a vehicle lab here, probably opting for Janus into medium tanks.
Interesting.
And that means he's vulnerable to this play that's going to come his way. But X-Factor might see this.
Yeah.
Or he might get shuried, to be fair.
Oh, Blodir with the not reacting. He's gonna lose a lot of his units.
That's a big loss. That's a massive catch there.
And it's only continuing. He might lose this whole army, actually. Wait, this has gone super bad. I think they all fall down. The bombers are going.
That is a massive switch. The bombers are flying at the moment. There are pawns in Blodir's base, but they're being cleaned up by shurikens and LLTs. The bombers are going in. The scout sees everything. Only one T1 AA. Whistler is out. No AA up yet. This is going to sink X-Factor's the energy economy, even with its spacing.
I like
that catch in mud, massive.
Yeah, I agree.
It's still going.
I like the underinvestment Blodir did, right? Like he didn't make too many bombers. Like 3 bombers is going to get decent damage, and I guess maybe he swapped earlier than he would have initially, but he dented I would say X-Factor's energy economy, and
it fully equalized and gave him the advantage. Actually, the bombers are still going to be an annoyance. X-Factor has a lot of res and reclaim on his side, but with shurikens out, any random aggression is now easy to shut down for Blodir. And he's being annoying. He's just going to keep picking away at the expansions.
Yeah,
I would say at the end of it all, it's slightly Blodir favored again.
Yeah, I fully agree. I mean, like, X-Factor is going to get all that reclaim in mid, which is not nothing. That is kind of scary, I think, for Blodir, as that is a lot of units. But, Blodir's still being annoying with this one bomber, although it looks like the Whistlers might shut it down in a moment. But
he took out 3 mexes on top of that, on top of the wind damage that he did, on top of forcing out AA. And this fully delayed X-Factor's push. And if you look at X-Factor's plan, is he kind of just wants to push straight into Blodir's base. Blodir is letting a few of his units die kind of for free.
Sure he's in the south. I mean, I say sure he's in the south, but they're EP in like 4 pawns, and the rest are just out not reacting at all. But yeah,
to be fair, this is actually annoying. And these Shuris are going to shut down this expansion. And this lets him just clean out these pawns with 3 grunts. So this is really good for map tempo. But we see vehicles are about to start clashing in the top side. We have a Pounder Whistler versus Janus medium tank ball. Not very standard for either player.
It's definitely a really interesting kind of little fight up here. Blodir is bringing the Shuris back, and I don't see many Whistlers, or any actually, for X-Factor.
The Whistlers all went down. They all went down to the expansion to stop the Shurikens, but the Shurikens are just flying. And honestly, Lasher Pounder is probably going to just destroy
it looks like the Shuris
Janus. Yeah, they've committed in.
Very briefly, I guess. He's baiting
Very
us.
brief, got the 1 tank, said, you know what, that's enough. Let's make the casters look there. But more importantly, in the south, we actually see the expansion cons are about to get caught out by Blodir. If he sees this, this will be massive. Both cons going down, possibly.
Yeah,
but he's not looking, he's going in. The Whistlers are there to dissuade him. He's on a fight command.
Moved. Oh, that's so sad.
But the big fight is happening in the north. The Whistlers and medium tanks and some pounders are about to engage the Janus medium tanks. And Whistlers trade insanely well into Janus, but not so well into medium tanks.
Uphill in the pounders is kind of brutal. I mean,
this is not. This is if there's a fight you don't want to take, it's probably this. In the south, though, we have a massive pawn attack coming in from XFactor onto Blodir, but it looks like the defenses will hold.
In the mid as well, a lot of pawns in the mid. Looking like XFactor maybe wants to commit, but that might, I think, just be too much here for him to fight into.
And I think Blodir's getting the advantage in that north fight.
These cons
XFactor, yeah, this will be big. And I don't think Blodir's noticing it. So both cons are going to go down. Oh, one of the cons is going to escape. That's a lot of metal on the ground for both teams. I don't know who's going to get it.
Well, I mean, Blodir has 5 resbots there already resing on the north. XFactor, I don't think can let this happen, as this is gonna.
No, he needs to kind of commit in, yeah. Yeah, this somehow needs to be denied, because otherwise this ball is going to start rolling, and I think Janus, while being really good into both medium tanks and pounders, falls apart against lashes.
Yeah, it looks like a bit of a commitment here. XFactor, this is the dangerous part, like fighting over these reclaim fields. Sometimes you just end up making them worse, right? Like,
yeah, you just cycle more units.
Ooh,
the zombies keep going.
That looks like the units from mid came over, and that's a decent amount of pawns that may add to this fight in the north.
Yeah, both players, I think they've realized that this is the fight that will borderline decide the game at the moment. Janus now on both sides firing away into the clusters. Pounders going. This is close.
I think the resbots might.
Pawns engage.
Oh, they didn't get caught.
Resbots escape. I think that at this point, it looks to me like Blodir is coming out slightly ahead in everything here.
Yeah, for sure.
This attack uphill is just getting punished so brutally, and with the resbots already there, the zombie units, XFactor's trying to get his resbots in, but they're being shooed away by the medium tanks, and Blodir switches to just eating everything, realizing he can just keep pumping units out, not risk this going over to XFactor. And I think he comes out ahead, and in the south he's counterattacking. There's no defenses in front of this. If he notices, all of XFactor's pawns are being returned to sender.
Yeah,
XFactor's comm is in the north.
XFactor has to bring his commander over. He has a lot of resbots here, but I mean, Blodir's already eaten several thousand of this metal. XFactor's actually going to degun some resbots, but he's got to be a little careful.
He has to try to get control of this, and if he doesn't, it's terrible. If he gets this, though, if he can res this is about 20 units that join his force.
Interesting choice.
But look at the swarm of labs out of Blodir.
Two tank labs, two bot labs.
I don't think I've ever seen that as a transition. But I think it makes sense. Like, why is this fight getting close? It's because XFactor's feeding pawns in to distract the units while the Janus shoot. So Blodir's just gonna feed even more units in. The counterattack is sitting.
Yeah, unfortunately, well, because we see, like, this is literally the game deciding wreck field, right? Like, XFactor's already resing it. Like, everybody is focused on this position, and if you look at it,
I like this positioning by Blodir.
I do too.
He's sitting on the high ground, getting bonus range onto his medium tanks, and he is just destroying the units XFactor sends forward. XFactor's comm is down to 50%. This is like borderline. My comm will fall apart if he commits.
Yeah, the
counterattack is going down the center as well.
The army value
has
really swapped hard. Oh my god, look at the minimap. Wow, I can see why the army value swapped hard. There's a stream of thugs coming.
Holy wall of units coming.
Wow.
Wow, he just said no more vehicle labs.
I kind of like it on this hill, though. I don't know. I mean, this choke point. Okay, this needs to stop. There's a traffic jam with the Rex here. Is not where we want to be. Oh my god.
This is insane. What is happening?
I wonder, does he pressure X Factor's commander here, like the tanks on the hill above?
So. I think he
just go with the thugs below, right?
Swing, yeah, the thugs go onto the rest of the high ground. The medium tanks are trading insanely well. The counterattack is still distracting. Blodir is macroing on the bot side behind us, taking all the mexes.
Oh, X Factor.
This is just a grinding fest. I think he's committing in for the commia.
I mean, look at the army value.
Yes.
X Factor, I think, is very dead. I don't see how he can defend
if
against
he just goes, yeah,
40
I think
thugs.
the comm falls, yeah. The thugs are just walking him down.
I like that.
Doing his best to degun everything, but there we go. What a crazy game one in this set.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that was just kind of ridiculous. Like, it turned into. Oh, nice. We get to spin again. It just kind of turned into overwhelming. Just Blodir, like just a bit ahead, and it kind of he just showed up with 40 thugs. Like he just took small leads off of a very strange early game, and honestly, well done by Blodir to pull back for kind of a weird game.
And that's really a microcosm of like every single game of Blodir's we've seen, right? Just strong, stable, steady, and as soon as there's a small advantage, he just crushes you under it.
Yeah, and for sure we saw that, right? Like X Factor and Blodir, I would say, were relatively even at the start. Like I maybe a slight lead for Blodir, as you know, again, like three mexes to one mex, it's gonna be pretty big lead. But I think luckily for Blodir, when he lost the 2 expanding cons in the south, he already had res bots there. He already had them ready, and they resed them quickly enough that while it was damage, it wasn't as much as it could have been.
Yeah. If he didn't res those cons, for example, that game is probably massively in X Factor's favor from that point forward. But because he's on top of it, he's fine.
Yeah,
I think that's also what we expected, though, from X Factor, right? Like, some creative build, some absolute wildness going on the map.
And it was. I mean, that was definitely like a chef X Factor kind of build. It was interesting because it looked like it was going to be an aggro build, but it almost kind of wasn't. Like his commander was the aggro part, but the moment I think Blodir, correctly reacted with like the instant thug and LLT. So like any attempt X Factor had to walk at that base, well, just disappeared, because I think really off of just very good reactions by Blodir.
Yeah, really on top of it.
You notice?
But into game 2 we are, yeah.
Blodir one-maxing here, which kind of makes me always feel like it's a bit more of an aggro build, but I mean, I guess it's Horus, right? It's not exactly the smallest maps, and realistically, do you see this with core bots, like an aggro build like this?
I don't know if this is actually an aggro build. I feel like this might be almost the same idea as X Factors. And in this case, sure, the mex is slower, but because wind was bad, both players struggle on energy, and so Blodir gets the expansion con out faster. So he's actually going to get more mexes quickly, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so this pays off after a few minutes, a minute or two. Unfortunately, I don't know the theory fully on the 1 mex and 0 mex openers, but
somewhere Kuchi is
I know that they can become more economical. Yeah, somewhere in Japan, Kuchi is like, I know. Explain it.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, this was a pretty common theme, right? Back when in all the talk of like the 2-mex X Factor build back in the day of like, yeah, you're 2-mexing a vehicle and you're gonna install real quick, but you're also getting the cons out much quicker. You're gonna walk your commander for a bit of extra metal, and it ends up equalizing down the line, which I guess we're gonna have to see in a couple minutes if that ends up being the case. Blodir is gonna get his first grunt caught on X Factor's side of the map. Right.
Does see the expansion. Blodir really likes his radar placement on this map, so I would like to draw your attention to his forward con.
Oh.
Putting this radar up here.
Well, I like
he
that a
made me
lot.
specifically take note of this radar placement. Sent me a message on Discord on my previous cast of these games, and was like, "Yeah, I like it as well. That's a really cool placement."
I mean, it's cool. Yeah, it sees, I feel like, almost everything. But, I mean, I guess in Eye of Horus, we've seen this a lot. You know, this is a pretty old map. This early game is really going to come down to just the little micro battles. You know,
Yeah, lots of
can keep
micro.
lots of micro battles, right? Who can keep their expanding cons
Oh,
alive? Who can you know, trade a
Actually,
little bit better?
X-Factor might get first blood here. That central con is really exposed.
Yeah, Blodir, interesting expansion path, right? I guess it's his third con, but like, usually I feel like we don't see it this early. Ooh, okay, that was almost a
Just
sketchy micro.
defended just in time.
Almost lost the con, but he should.
And
be able to
also,
shoot him away.
interestingly, X-Factor in the top left-hand corner has hidden one grunt to be a little assassin later on.
Like that. Oh,
But
maybe.
Blodir
kills
sneaks
the
through.
next
We'll
one?
take out a Mex probably. He should. I think he gets this no matter what.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
we go.
Oh, first blood then to Blodir, as that is actual real value. Especially as
that
it
is
looks like
something.
X Factor's expanding with what, 2 cons to 3?
Yeah.
Kind of, that's gonna add up pretty quickly.
And this is, like, we already see it in the metal per second is starting to favor Blodir, and the metal production has equalized massively.
Ooh,
But
Blodir-
I do think X-Factor's getting the better of these unit trades
Yeah.
generally on his side of the map. So this is something to watch out for, and Agent X has been activated behind Blodir, so you'll see how much damage he gets over there.
I mean, that's easily gonna get one
At least it'll get the con probably, con and a Mex. I would
Yeah,
guess.
maybe both even. I kind of agree with you that X Factor does appear to be getting the better of these trades. Although it looks like Blodir might catch a con in mid if he's paying attention.
There's so many things running towards Blodir, even in the middle. Like there's a group running straight towards his base.
I'm surprised.
X-Factor e-stalling, so Blodir doesn't actually punish this this LLT being unable to fire.
Blodir
The,
losing
the
a
con
in
is
mid.
alive.
Blodir's
but
losing a con
there's
in mid as well. With to another run by
Con goes
X
on in
Factor.
mid.
While there's grunts on Blodir's base, like that. This might kill wins.
I think this will kill wins, and I think this will kill the game. Honestly, like GG.
Yeah,
game is
Blodir
cold.
calls it. I mean, that's Eye of Horus, right? Like that's kind of how this
Yeah.
tends to go. It's just
Smash grunts into each other until you get an advantage.
it's a micro war, and if you lose the micro war, you don't get to see any of the other fun activities of Eye of Horus.
It almost surprised me that Blodir was like trying so hard to be counter-aggressive while having 3 expanding cons. I feel like the meta has mostly been 2 expanding cons.
Yeah, if he's gonna go
And
3, I agree.
aggression.
I think he needed to be a little bit slower, right? A little bit more relaxed and defensive. 3 cons it was a lot to have to defend.
Yeah, and X-Factor went in with a plan, putting his, as I'm saying, sleeper agent grunts in the corners, knowing that at some point in time they're going to find some value.
That one. Wait, I'm surprised Blodir actually managed to save that without losing the con. But I mean, I guess he lost the one in mid in return, and he kind of was just losing a lot of the different trades. But
Just all over the map, pretty much the trades were just not going his direction. Ever, I don't think. So
it looks like X
yeah,
Factor
that
beats
just
him up.
yeah.
No, that was
So 1-on-1 in our series, that's a good start for your prediction of a 3-2.
I mean, it's just it can really go either way. But yeah, it is just kind of they're both so good that it really could come down to just very small things. And Eye of Horus was kind of just a very small thing that just spiraled out of control.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm curious after we saw Radar. I'm curious after we saw with you know, Arkham Cats if X Factor has anything cooked, or frankly if Blodir has anything cooked.
Yeah, we don't really expect anything crazy out of Blodir, but maybe that's an advantage for Blodir, right? If he does something crazy, no one's going to expect it. But I feel like against X Factor, Blodir has to somewhat expect
Something weird.
something's happening every game.
Yeah, Blodir's saying, I like how Horus is both wind RNG and raid RNG map in one. And, I kind of get what he's saying, but
Yeah.
I think we saw that map a lot in Alpha Cup this year, and, it kind of, I don't know, it felt like the most APM check of maps in that tournament, and it kind of still feels like that in this one, as there's so many, every game between these players, there's so many fights happening all over the map. There's so many different things you have to be looking at and microing, and if you are just a little bit slower, you can just die. Like, you could just...
Or you focus on the wrong thing at the wrong time, and something just slips through. It's one of those maps that is just brutally punishing.
Yep.
And it can quickly slip away from you, as we saw in the previous game. You're on top of most of the things, but that one straw breaks the camel's back, and you're out of the game.
Yeah, maybe like in maybe a weaker lobby, you're not, these missing a couple things isn't going to kill you. In this one, against two of the best players the bar has, it is going to kill you. You will immediately die, and there will be no ifs, men. You're just going to die. That's all it's going to be.
So this is actually my first time getting to watch a game in the BPL on Devil's Post Files. What can you tell me about this map, Lars?
I'm trying to hide the kickflip. I really enjoyed a set I watched between X Factor and Auto on this map. This was actually the first game I had seen in the tournament where somebody pulled up the pounder on repeat and kind of just covered the map in pounders. And I just in terms of the map, I really like the decision making that you'll see and the timing players will pick to make an air lab and start grabbing, like, okay, the posts mexes, their reclaim. There's no way that he is spawning there. Okay.
Yeah, that is a play. There is something going on already.
We're gonna see some stuff. You know what? Anything I just said, take it and throw it in the trash. I don't know anything that's about to happen. As Blodir's the only one, I'm like, yeah, I could probably guess what Blodir's doing, but the chef...
Lost forgot that he was watching X Factor's game.
The chef himself is in the lobby. Oh, man.
So we have Blodir spawning in as the Red Cortex commander. Going for the vehicle option. X Factor also playing Cortex, though. But an unusual spawn.
I guess he could build a lab off the cliff, but...
I think that is what he's going for.
But why? But why? I mean, I guess you're avoiding walking around the cliff, and he can calm expand back, right, and grab all the mexes.
Yeah, I think that's the plan, is he's going to forward expand with the vehicles up and calm expand backwards and secure everything.
Okay,
maybe
it's
this
kind
is
of
like trying to optimize the timing.
Yeah.
Of grabbing mexes, and I guess if you don't get like punished or raided too harshly, it might be difficult to deal with.
I mean, this next few minutes are gonna be super interesting. I'm not.
It's definitely an odd choice.
Yeah, I mean, odd. I don't know if odd covers exactly how I'm feeling, but yes, it is definitely an odd choice. I'm really curious how he's going to just the base management here is going to be very annoying. Is it the only? Yeah, of course he's mathed this out. But it's gonna be interesting watching the statistics in the next few minutes as whether or not Blodir keeps up with a bit more traditional spawn location, as he can kind of just expand south and just a nice, clean, direct line.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how, if he contested north, that north corner, how would it play out? Because you can never commit your com from X, or you can, but it would take a long time to get there. But this double will expand, opting for 3 comms out.
Wow. Can he even make VP here, or does he have to walk all the way around? I don't even know. I don't know the like the spacing of this with the water there, where he can build and where he can't.
Yeah, I'm sure he can. I'm confident that if I click on that and queue up a thing, hang on, let me click.
So he's made 4 cons.
Yes. There is space for at least 2 con towers, if not 3. 2 on each. 2 on the right side, 2 on the left side and 1 on the right side is what it looks like. And then there's more space further along the coast as well.
Well, he started his comm walk, and I think we're just going to be in the Scout Wars section of these 1v1s, and it's really going to come down to
Blodir is about to find out what's going on here. He gets the Scout off to see this expansion, which should tell him that something is afoot.
Yeah, you're right, because he wouldn't expect to see cons at this position yet, and like I guess it looks like that Ro4 did get in, or Rascal did get in the south and saw that XFactor did not have a base there. And he sees the expanding cons, so he knows something's weird. All right, he knows something's not right, and he can probably make an educated guess about where XFactor's base actually is.
But it's interesting because it doesn't seem to have really paid off yet. So this might be another case where you wait. In about 3 minutes' time, we have to come back to metal produced and decide. But for now, Blodir is enjoying a comfortable advantage of 33%,
Yeah,
3.5 minutes into the game.
I agree. I think
I'd be happy.
This is going to be around 5-6 minutes. We're going to look and see, like, okay, did this pay off? As, you know, XFactor is ahead in metal a second right now, as Blodir is in that weird, awkward position where he has to walk for quite a while with his commander, not finding any sort of metal. Oh, I like that. Okay, building the con turret up on the cliff, I actually kind of like. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if this pays off. You know, the base is also very difficult to raid in that position. Like, you're kind of pushing into units in the water, which is never easy to push into. There's a lot of LLTs here.
Yeah. But it looks like Blodir is going to find a little bit of damage if he sees his Scout here has a free max to pick off, and possibly another max that he can take out.
And he will.
Oh, right on the cusp of that LLT's
But
range.
he drove in, but yeah. XFactor already turning around.
Should take down this. Yeah, Mex goes down, so that's a nice little pick off there. Slows down XFactor's expansion, but it really won't do too much. Denies the Mex again.
Blodir has added on 2 expanding cons in the north, so it's not even just a commander expand anymore. He is actually evening out the amount of BP going into more mexes.
Yeah.
And XFactor has fallen behind in the metal a second a little bit. Keeps reclaiming something, which is always fun to figure out, you know. But he is falling behind.
How much? You see a lot of solos going down, especially for Blodir. Blodir is definitely exploding his energy production at the moment in comparison to XFactor. So in the long run, Blodir is going to be in a great position.
Like, I'm actually kind of surprised exactly how many LLTs XFactor's making in this position, right? Like, if you look where you know, Blodir's in, like, the mirrored spot, right?
I think he's forced to, though.
I mean,
right?
maybe,
because...
but Blodir's in the mirrored spot, and he has 2 LLTs basically covering both entrances. Like I
think because of this option with the base and having your metal production be in such a deficit, you have to actually assume a really defensive position. We even see Exploiter and Armed Mechs being built here.
In the north, yeah.
XFactor actually has 2 mexes queued up on one of these mexes. Let's hope he doesn't accidentally fall into that trap. But I looked at this and I wondered, what if Blodir full commits just all in early aggro to trying to deny this expansion?
Just looking at the stats, I'm thinking to myself, does he need to? like we're 6 minutes in.
That's a good question.
We're 6 minutes in, and Blodir's 1,000 metal up. Like he's up in army value. He's literally up in every metric except for defense value, which is like, okay, he's not making LLTs.
I don't know. This 3-minute check has currently come back as not working out as possibly planned.
Yeah, I'm very, I don't know. I'm curious. Like, what is the benefit here? I mean, XFactor is going to get a little bit of a
first raid. Only 1 mech's going down, probably, right?
Yeah, and Blodir's commander's right there. So realistically, you know, it's maybe you might be able to get this one as well. Yeah, but I mean, Blodir's commander can rebuild it relatively quickly, although he'll have to walk backwards, which is never what you want to do.
Blodir is sending Pounders towards the north, but XFactor's already got his own Pounders on the way.
Oh god.
And we see actually Blodir is the first one to move into the middle expansions. And he also has a con now following behind his commander to take back any of these lost mexes. So I think really at the end of the day, and Blodir sneaks
That's
through,
annoying.
gets past.
Should be able to kill a couple mexes. I don't know if he gets a con here, if XFactor micros the cons back to the Pounders. But actually,
Definitely won't get it, but he denies this Mex for a while. The Pounders might even catch this con. And this Mex going down at the back is really annoying because it breaks his pathing.
Oh man, it looks like
And
Blodir's gonna get another one.
I think Blodir gets these cons. Maybe.
2 Pounders and an Incisor, I think definitely get these cons. Although with the LLT there is gonna be a little annoying, but I think with the flanky
LLT
damage
goes
of the
down
Pounders,
instantly now, yeah. This is massive damage actually onto XFactor. 1 con going down. I don't think he'll lose both.
Yeah, it does not look like he gets both. XFactor,
No,
yeah,
no,
I was
he won't
wondering
get
if
both.
XFactor was going to micro his Pounder to actually target the Incisor, as it looked like maybe it was going to shoot the Pounders, but...
But this is a tempo loss, and we see in the middle of the map, actually, Blodir is starting to pushing forward, and if he can get past this LLT before the Pounder shows up, that's wins that are going to start going down. Unfortunately for him, he runs into the Pounder.
That's a lot of units behind these Incisors, though. I mean, it is kind of
There's
the
more,
Pounder,
there's...
like Pounder
The
line
Pounders will
coming.
do stuff, but there's medium tanks coming, and Pounders are good, but not that incredible. And if he takes down the Mexes or the Cons, yeah, this is a big issue.
Yeah, I mean, Blodir's
And behind
gets
this,
some damage, but...
Blodir's just macroing though. Like, none of this is, like, slowing Blodir down. I don't think Blodir should commit forward here, even if he's taking out the wins. If he went up, he could probably take out more stuff there.
Yeah, it's kind of like a 1,000 metal on the ground, right? That he just kind of left there. I don't know if he got enough. That kind of felt like a feed to me. I don't know if he got enough to justify how much he committed there. Didn't get a con. He got a few wins, but left about 1,000
Did
metal on
deny
the ground.
some mexes, and I think it delays what XFactor was doing in this area, but I agree with you, it wasn't really anything big. Both players opting for an air lab now.
I see cons
Almost
and
identical timings.
Blodir's Q as well. So he's going right for
XFactor's
the
lab.
air cons to try and grab these post piles. You know, get the metal up there, get the mexes. And you know, the mind games of this are always funny too, right? Like you build who can get an AA up quicker on the posts, who will go fighter early and try and snipe the expanding cons, and it's actually kind of interesting.
We do see a pretty scary push coming back from XFactor to the north. Not a lot of units in front of it for Blodir. And there are some Pounders. Blodir is making this play to the south, but I don't think he'll get anything.
I almost want him to like just chill at this point. Like he's in a good position. I mean, I kind of like the thug push in the south, but yeah, Blodir, I feel like loses the air cons.
Blodir's one of the air cons goes down, the other one survives.
Oh, nice.
He could return and
It's like a
finish
20%,
this
not even
AA
like
turret.
2%
Yeah.
HP.
Blodir actually
Wow.
got through to taking out multiple mexes, yeah. That's pretty decent, because there's not really any con... I'd say that.
I mean, you can use the air cons, I guess, yeah, but
Straight in front of me,
realistically...
yeah.
Oh, wait, XFactor... These are thugs. This is actually way more dangerous, although Blodir's not reacting, just kind of just walking into XFactor. Neither one of these players are reacting!
Both players finally reacted
Holy.
to like, potential threat here.
That was a little scary, but, looks like Blodir
Aerials
killed the air
happening all over the
cons.
map. Yeah, that's actually big for Blodir, getting those dead.
Wait, XFactor
while
needs
still
to
keeping
run.
one of his air cons alive.
He's getting kind of cut off here by the Pounders in the north and the thugs in the
he
south.
actually might just be... He just might be caught out. He's kind of borderline e-stalling, which is meaning his defenses aren't fully firing. And he's surrounded. I think XFactor might go down here.
I think he is.
I think Blodir smells blood. If he just commits in and gets this flank damage, these Pounders are going to do insane damage, but he's not committing in. He opts to take the fight instead.
Ooh, this is a little
I think he missed a window, and I don't think this now works at all. And this
There's
is
a
kind of just
decent
a
amount of-
1,000 metal.
Decent amount of brutes here. I mean, Blodir definitely cannot let this metal go now, right? He can just back up the hill actually, which I really like with the thugs. But yeah, I really hope he doesn't overcommit here. I mean, I don't know. I feel like maybe he needs to overcommit, actually, right? I feel like he can't let... This is too much metal on the ground, and XFactor's commander is right there.
Problem is, XFactor's struggling a bit with his spending at the moment. Honestly, XFactor's command is...
Yeah, this is
that
still
going to go down,
very
yeah?
dangerous. That's a lot of thugs. Oh, Blodir's on Microwave.
It's gonna be close. XFactor's scaling behind this, but okay, Blodir not willing to try to go for the throat. I feel like XFactor's been dead twice down here.
Yeah, XFactor actually he's built a second tank lab, this time actually to easier reinforce his commander's position, as the long trek around the riverbed is kind of getting units here, making this very dangerous.
And Blodir's got the resbots going now, so this is actually going to become an issue for XFactor on the south. And he is being pushed back, and I think on this hill probably favors the thugs, but my god, these pounders are just
I don't
absolutely
think
ripping those poor thugs apart.
Maybe not the best idea for Blodir to push up that hill, as, you know, just secure the reclaim, although actually XFactor is pushing out after it, which might end up hurting.
Look at army value. Look at in the middle of the map, Blodir is sitting on this giant tank force that is currently not engaged in anything.
Look, it's pounders in water, okay? It'll get engaged in something in about 10 minutes from now, okay? They're doing the best they can.
Tags.
Oh, man.
But I don't know, how does, with the resbot push on the bot side, does XFactor have enough units to stop this? Like, the army value is a 50% advantage for Blodir at the moment behind all of this.
I mean, he may be,
He's
right?
forcing the reinforcements back.
A lot of
XFactor's tanks
are
are
in the
dead.
north, but yeah, I think he's actually going to catch Blodir's little push here and should be able to kill some of this.
But the pounders will do a lot of damage back, and the problem is this distracts XFactor away from these thugs, and these thugs are just slowly resbotting. There's more and more thugs coming.
The res push in the south, actually, all of these units...
XFactor is resing this, though.
Yeah,
that's big for XFactor.
XFactor's entire reinforcements went to the north here. If Blodir just right-clicks on XFactor, I feel like he can just walk over these LLTs.
He will kill the comm. The comm is
right the comm is right there, yeah. I mean, realistically, I don't know... I don't know what Blodir wants to do here.
I'm shocked that Blodir isn't going for his throat here. I feel like this is just a... commit fully, but he's pulling up instead. He's going to go contest that wreckage field.
He cannot let that either one of these say. I mean, maybe he goes and contests the north one, but I almost feel like that's a mistake. I don't know.
I feel like he could just run over XFactor's comm. The LLTs are not going to stop 20 thugs.
And all this metal is going the way of XFactor now because Blodir repositioned his whole army.
Yeah, and this is keeping him in the game. This is keeping XFactor alive, and honestly, in some ways, it's swinging the game back against XFactor, but this res field in the middle is going to get somewhat silly. XFactor is committing forward again, but
look at the surround.
This does not look like a fight he can take. Blodir is sitting on like a 170-degree arc.
Okay, XFactor needs to be really careful. If he pushes out of this LLT field, he could die so quick. But yeah, like about Blodir with like almost a full surround of this army. XFactor.
And I think the resbots could start going down here. Blodir's focus firing the resbots.
Yeah.
Some of them go down. More thugs arriving. This fight, we're back to game one, people. This fight is.
It's just a meat grinder. I mean, okay, look, just off of the fact that XFactor has resbots here, I kind of feel like this is kind of going XFactor's way. Blodir's are coming up, but. I mean,
Blodir's opting for another air lab.
Wait, what is... Okay, so...
he's C2. Blodir's C2 behind this, okay.
Okay, that's kind of ballsy to do, considering how much metal's currently on the ground here, and he's kind of running out of units. That feels very ballsy. I'm curious what this
I guess it makes sense.
Do you think he goes like a heavy transport and makes his... He's making a banisher. Okay, so we can already see that. Do you think he flies the banisher down here?
Isn't the bombing run more likely? He makes the transport. I guess you're onto something.
Look, that still seems crazy to me. I feel like maybe Tsar's too expensive here, but
I'm surprised we don't see like 10 Shuris just to try to contest this mid reclaim, because I feel like if there's a way XFactor gets back into this game, it's rezzing this field and throwing it straight back at Blodir, because Blodir is now running out of units. Like, he is actually running out of units,
that timing of the tier 2 lab, I don't know. I'm a little scared for Blodir. Azar in queue as well. It looks like the Banisher is going to drive forward, being a little bit quicker. Where the Tsar will get picked up and flown down here, but will it get here in time? It kind of looks like Blodir's army's gone, as this army value has hard swung and not in his favor.
That's crazy. I cannot believe the set of decisions we just watched here.
I feel like he... Okay,
the
in my
T2
brain
Maxes
here...
are out.
Okay, he's going... Oh, I thought for sure. In my brain here, he made the con, he eats the lab, and goes back into tier 1. I like... This is...
I mean,
tier 2 is
I imagine a Tiger on a Tar on top of one of these post piles will be somewhat of an issue. We see Shurikens finally coming out, but this is a giant mass of units approaching him now.
Look, Zars are good, Vanishers are good, but that is several thousand metal and just medium tank running at Blodir, and with several thousand more to be res, this is actually kind of frightening for Blodir. I don't...
The
really
Tar is
stops
approaching
this.
the front line. I assume we'll see XFactor go T2 soon himself, just to make
Sark
sure
gets
that
picked
like
up.
nothing too bad.
Blodir in a little bit of threat here, although the
see a
Shurikens should be able
commitment.
to protect it.
The Shurikens are not committing on the Shuris though. I'm a bit surprised.
Yeah,
But
a couple
enough
lashers maybe.
LLTs to dissuade.
Well,
This breakaway force is a problem.
it is kind of running into reinforcing Tigers with the Shurikens on
Okay,
top
so
of
the
it.
Shuris go there. I'm scared for Blodir's commander. There are so many units approaching him.
This army value is still very much so not in Blodir's favor. A lot of units are committing on Blodir's position, but he does have a lot of LLTs here. X-Factor,
Yeah,
I
and
don't...
they are being pushed back. The commander steps forward to make sure that nothing walks in. The flanking force running into the Tar Banisher combo is cut down.
Banisher almost...
No damage is coming through, and there's still a lot of units coming across the map
It's
at
kind
Blodir,
of
but
turning, I feel like, right? Like
this is, I think he's held. I think he's fine, and now, you know what that means, lost.
X-Factor's diving on the Tsar. I mean,
Oh, he has to catch it. But I don't
The water
if
is
he gets it,
hurting
it's
him.
great.
he just
And
can't
the Shuris
get to
are
it.
going to come back. But you know what this means? If he doesn't get the Tar, you know he's going to get all of this reclaim.
Yeah, X-Factor, he rezzed everything, but the Tsar is barely alive. Everything's getting Shuri. The Tsar's at 5%, 4. I think it's going to go
3%
down,
to 0,
but
it goes down.
how much did it bait here?
Barely.
I don't know if this
The
is
army
good.
values have nearly equalized. That's how much it baited.
Oh, this res push actually in front of Blodir is a little scary. There's a lot of res. He needs to get some Tigers down here when it looks like they're on the way, but...
Yeah, they're still moving, but there are... Actually, if you look to the north, X-Factor has got a small group through that is taking out the expansions,
that's killing tier
cutting
2
down some
mixes.
units, yeah. Took out the expanding con, but I think X-Factor's all in on this, actually.
Bombers. Do you think this
Is
is
he
a
going
comp
to go
snipe
for the
angle?
comp snipe again? I think so. If I had to put money down, I think this is where you're like, this game is rapidly about to get very unpleasant for me.
You know, Blodir's still not securing this either. I'm really getting worried here. He's tier 2. He's got Tigers, and X-Factor is kind of running out of steam.
He's commanders.
Blodir's commander is taking a little bit of damage, which maybe will influence X-Factor go for the comp snipe, but really, I don't...
He's grouping it up. I think this is double air lab, bomber spam. He's 100% going for the comp
I
snipe.
agree. And Blodir's gonna have a bit of air, but he's...
Because the push is over. The push is done. There is no more push. It is gone. Blodir has cleaned it up.
And realistically, Blodir has no way, unless he sends a scout now in like actual like fate scout. I don't see any way for him to know that this.
He
what we
needs to
believe to be a
soul
comp
read
snipe.
this,
Yeah,
pretty
soul read.
much.
He needs to soul read
Those-
X Factor and smell the comp snipe coming.
I mean, if he watched the game earlier, and I'm pretty sure he did against Barcast, he could. It wouldn't be the
Yeah.
first time today.
Yeah, and if anything, okay, you know, in that game against Barcast as well, like, you know, we saw him go for like oh no, that was the Red Comet game. Never mind, with the pawns as well as the airplay, but I mean Blodir, man,
With Banisher dead, that's a lot of AA gone, actually. I don't think he survives this. I think X-Factor is going to pull this off, and as long as X-Factor finds this calm with a few scouts
Oh, we're
alive,
going.
there's no way Blodir survives.
Can't tell
He
me.
has 25 bombers.
He's going. And Blodir is kind of... Like, there was a moment where I was thinking, okay...
Blodir's got a scout going in, but will he realize...
There was a
I don't
moment
think he's
where
going to
Blodir
realize.
was standing next to the cliff, and it was like, okay, that would make comp sniping almost impossible with the way bombers behave around cliffs. But now he is actually wide out in the open.
And he's making TARs instead of banishes. If there was any RNG that could save him, it would be banishes sniping out the air unit.
Oh, he doesn't have energy to cloak either because of the Zars.
I think he's just going to die.
And even if he did cloak, even if he did cloak, the scout planes would be enough. Blodir is going to see the airwave coming in.
Out.
Oh, he stopped moving.
Oh no!
Oh, he stopped moving.
He's trying to cloak.
He doesn't have the energy. He needs.
Wait, did XFactor not see?
Wait.
XFactor didn't
Wait,
see.
XFactor didn't see him. Oh my god, he's not even cloaked. He just didn't see him. The scouts weren't there. Oh wait, does he? He's still looking for him.
No, the flags are out. He's got an idea. He knows.
The Blodir can die. Blodir's not moving. Oh, he's cloaked now, but it doesn't.
Blodir needs to move.
Oh, the cliff!
He's gonna go down. It has to.
No. The cliff is actually really screwing up the bombers.
The flak is there.
There's 2 flaks. Blodir just needs to dodge like an actual god. He is trying, but I think he's gonna die.
He's gone.
Oh my god, that was stressful. Wow.
Wow, he came so close to surviving, but his energy just stalled him out, and crazy game. Actually
ridiculous game. Yeah, the tier 2 swap scared me, man. I don't know. He gave up a 6,000 metal like wreck field for that tier 2. A little frightening, all things considered.
I feel like that's a game that Blodir on review will be like, I can't believe I didn't just kill XFactor's combo.
I think it's going to be one as well. Yeah, I agree with you, but it's also going to be one where I don't know if XFactor is going to be able to get away with that specific thing again. As once you have that in your brain of like, this is what he will do in this position, you kind of will be, I don't want to say like instinctively countering it, but you'll be way more aware of it.
It'll be sitting there, yeah, in the back of your head, making you wonder.
And like getting Getting away with that for XFactor is not going to be nearly as easy.
Yeah, that was a surprising game in terms of how it ended up playing out, but what a back and forth, and such creative openings, again, from XFactor, creating this imbalanced map state, and then managing to capitalize on how weirdly the game is playing out at that point.
What do we think? Was that build worth it at the end? It kind of seemed like no, right? like he was down in metal. He didn't really gain positioning, I feel like, off of it. I think it was like Teddy maybe in chat pointed out that like the location of XFactor's BP meant like scaling energy was also super awkward on that cliff. As you just have way less space. And all things considered, it was creative. But then that build even started hurting him. He needed to get reinforcements to the south to protect his commander. And they had to drive in water the whole way. And they were just the slowest reinforcing tanks that I think XFactor could have had. But wow.
It feels to me like he got away with a bit of a heist there.
A little bit.
That game... I don't think that Blodir would normally lose that game in the position that it was in. But something about it threw off the standard play, and XFactor found a way to make it work. He got the line of play that keeps him in the game and wins the game for him, so... Fair play. I mean, your opening doesn't matter if you win, right?
I agree. No, I agree. And the comp snipe, again, was well done. It was a little scary when he couldn't find Blodir's commander, and I actually feel like Blodir lived if he kept walking. Like, if he stopped walking...
if he didn't stop walking... He definitely lived. If he got behind the mountain in his base with the flags coming out, there's no way that plays out the same.
It was close. Him, oh man, there were so many ways he could have lived there. I don't know. But it was also like, we can see it because we're spectators, but he's in the game. He's probably microing his push because while that was happening, he had a bunch of Tigers hitting XFactor's base, but man, that was an exciting game. You know what? For the first set, of the BPL semifinals. Holy, what a game! That was
These
awesome.
players are delivering, and all of these games so far have been just. Well, I guess Game 1 and Game 3 have delivered extremely back and forth fights.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Game 2 was a bit of a
Hey,
quick end given
Yeah.
the map that it was on. But
Oh.
we go into Game 4 soon on High Noon.
yeah, Game 4.
This is an
High
interesting
Noon.
map.
The one thing I'm worried, I know I've never heard Blodir tilt, but I wonder he has to be a little frustrated, right, after what just happened to him.
Yeah,
And hopefully he's got the mental. I mean, I would assume he of all people has the mental power to you know, shake it off and continue on.
Yeah, I mean, this is the current champion and the former champion facing each other, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, or a former champion. And if there's any people that know how to deal with like these results, know how to deal with the stress and pressure, it's the two of them.
For sure. This is the map I think I'm the most worried for maybe Blodir. I'm most worried for Blodir because this map feels so cookable to me on like the different things that you can do. And we are playing, and we are playing. Wow, Blodir is playing against one of the more creative high-level players that Bar has, and I'm gonna be curious about what we're gonna see coming out here. Although it looks like so far standard spawns for both. Oh, look, you're right. Look, you guys get to deal with the kickflip. Enjoy.
It's a stylistic introduction to
Oh,
the game.
man. Look, I love that bug. It's just a part of my bar now. I don't know why it does it, but I love it.
It looks like both players are probably opting for Cortex. Blodir in the red, XFactor in the blue. Mirrored starts. I don't know if we'll see any crazy cooking in the early game.
Yeah, probably not.
But I think we're going to see some wild transitions between the two players.
Yeah, I imagine we're going to see something pretty similar, and that we've seen a lot on High Noon, right? Where it's like the pretty traditional, you start in the spawns that they kind of just walk, like they say Blodir, from Blodir's position, you walk along the north path, you take the mexes, cut off the mid, and then a switch gets flipped and it's time for activities. But whatever activities get picked, you know, we'll have to see. As, you know, this early game is going to be pretty standard. A lot of the time I feel like it's just kind of scout harass, right? Like who can defend their base, as really neither player, I think, focuses too much on expanding. Interesting bot lab. Don't know if I've seen a bot open actually on this map. A lot of players are really prioritizing.
Well, I guess we are seeing the start of a possible cook here.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this map is very much you want to get to the middle and lock it down as fast as possible.
Yeah.
And if Rascals get through, it's extremely annoying trying to chase them down and not take damage. I imagine this first Rascal is going to make a beeline over to XFactor's base to try to make sure he's being honest.
Yeah. I'm trying to, in my head, think of what is the benefit here of going bots, right? Like, I guess...
I would guess that if you can pump out grunts quickly enough before the vehicle player can get, say, 5 incisors to stabilize the mid position, it's really difficult to stop the 20 grunts from just spreading out across the entire backline and eternally slowing you down, like hunting down 20 grunts, or even having them run into your mexes would be an issue. But
I feel like
Blodir sees that it's grunts out here. It's not a vehicle opening he's against.
I feel like on the flip side, right, it is also like kind of a similar thing for the vehicle player, right? They're gonna just kind of spam. Oh, actually, Blodir is already swapping off scouts, which is probably the correct play, seeing what he's up against. But it looks like one Rascal will start tickling XFactor's base, but I can't imagine he's gonna get much more. Oh God, sitting in the water.
Is it fully submerged? Is it
it
immune
is.
to damage there? Well, that's
It's also immune
to
there.
damage here.
Yeah. Oh
This
man.
is one of those I don't know what we call this.
Gross.
Tricks?
It's gross.
Exploits?
It's
I'm
really
not sure
gross.
what word we're going to use, but we see that Blodir is currently positioning multiple scouts on multiple angles. But XFactor is possibly going to be trying to come over, but Blodir's comm is nearly there. There's multiple incisors out. He's switching to more comms, and I think that Blodir is going to be very happy with this start.
Yeah, I mean, XFactor does have to kind of leave two units here, which is a little annoying, but all things considered, not the biggest deal. You know,
Ooh.
the
First
incisor.
gun goes down.
The incisors are
That
kind of
rascal
annoying
is
to deal with.
immortal.
Oh, his commander stopped walking. Ooh, this might have been a missed micro from XFactor. I can't imagine that was intentional to have his commander be idle there.
It's still idle. I think he's distracted by what's happening in the middle with this rascal. This rascal is just full on keeping his distracted. And I think that at this moment in time, Blodir is now entirely secure. I wouldn't commit forward here.
Yeah,
I feel like this is the
careful.
one way that he can get punished. And he's going to end up losing these incisors, probably.
I mean, they are incisors, all things considered. Oh, that one gets stuck on the wreck of its friend, so it just gets surrounded and killed very quickly, but...
And if you look in the main base, that rascal that was hidden in the water went back, took out a mech,
So annoying. Oh my
and
God.
went back to hiding. What a fun time!
Oh my
I
God.
imagine.
I like both rascals are still just sitting on this coastline, and they're kind of like if XFactor moves these grunts away,
There's a large group of grunts.
you're gonna claim the red spot. Yeah, but do you want to do that, right? Like I mean, I guess you need to do something, but taking the APM or taking the res bot away to do it is just all so annoying.
If XFactor doesn't break through this LLT before these reinforcement incisors arrive, I think he's not going to find anything.
Oh, he's
yet.
committing with the grunts.
Oh, but he is through. He actually doesn't have to deal with the LLT. The incisors are here though, and
grunts
will
are
probably
bruised.
clean this up. The mechs will go down.
Yeah, that's a big amount of investment in units for one mech, as a lot of those grunts are already bruised. I'm not really sure if that favors XFactor. I didn't actually realize that part of the cliff was walkable, but
I also didn't, honestly.
he just
But I
walks
mean,
right up it.
behind this, we see XFactor is actually at a pretty large metal deficit. He's been distracted. The rascal's keeping him busy, and his expansion really not matching what Blodir has achieved so far. Blodir is switching to a forward vehicle lab, yeah.
Just look at the map, man. I mean, Blodir has so many of his mechs already, you know, with the speed of the vehicle con, whereas XFactor is just, like you said, he's one con
XFactor's switching to
expanding.
thugs, by the way.
So this is a bit more of an aggressive build, clearly, as he's not going for any sort of later aggression, but like Blodir has a forward lab, his commander's starting to pump out, you know, pounders, but we're gonna need XFactor to do some real damage really soon to actually...
I don't know how he's going to do any damage versus pounders, though. If there's anything that's going to shut down this bot push over water...
I mean, thugs can kind of fight into pounders, right? Like, it's not the worst. It's not great. It's not great. Nothing really enjoys fighting pounders. but-
Fighting out of water
Yeah,
onto an
yeah.
uphill?
Look,
I don't know.
It's not great. Let's just say, okay, so he is going to reclaim this rascal with the con, finally deal with it, as the annoyance, I think, you know, outweighs the downside of moving his BP over.
There's also like a strong issue of if Blodir just does like a Wolverine or Lasher and Pounder
Yes,
push,
Yeah.
and there's Lashers coming out. Lashers can shoot in this water all day, all the time.
Ooh, XFactor's hiding the
gonna be a-
thugs. Look at that. He's actually keeping them back, not revealing them yet until he gets, I'm assuming, a bit more of a critical mass going.
Yeah, I imagine this will be about 20, 30 thugs that he's... Nah, they're probably not 30, but somewhere between the 10 to 20 number that he'll show.
I see amphibious tanks moving across the map for Blodir, as it looks like he is transitioning to a bit more of a harassing play here. I wonder if this could hurt him,
Yes.
considering how many thugs are building up in front of him.
Could weaken his front line. The thing is that Blodir nearly has a 2,000 metal production lead at the moment, which is pretty large. And as long as he doesn't take a fight that is extraordinarily bad.
Oh, here they go. The thugs are moving forward. I think this is all going to be on Blodir's reaction here. I mean, a lot. Okay, he's
Blodir
making...
sees them on. He's just seen them appear on radar. Looking at Blodir's camera, he knows something is up. What that is, he doesn't know yet.
He hasn't reacted to it. He's not swapping his unit choice at all. He made a couple.
He's retreating. And
Okay,
more pounders are coming out.
Look how many amphibious tanks he's making, actually. Like, I actually wonder if this is a mistake from Blodir. I don't know if he realizes how much he's making.
I think it is, actually. I think he needs to,
This is kind of what I meant, though, right? Of these pounders trading into, like, thugs, as long as they spread, kind of trade pretty well into it, all things considered. Like,
with the lashes, the AoE damage, once they get to the edge of this water, if the only thing that's like a problem is Blodir needs to hold this line right now, and nothing needs to get past it. We see he switched to medium tanks as well from the second lab to support him. He just needs to spam as many LLTs, Wolverine firing away, and XFactor's about to get distracted by these units arriving in his back line.
I feel like XFactor...
And there are a lot. XFactor has to go, but I don't think he's going... He can't. Like, there's too much in front of him
I feel like he was too hesitant here, right? With a build like this, why is he... He's only pushing with, like, 4 thug. I feel like with a build like this, the whole goal is to go, right? But...
Yeah.
Any hesitation
as soon as
here,
you show it...
He's just giving
you're trying
time to, like, build up an army.
Yeah, you're trying to sucker punch your opponent effectively, but he lightly jabbed him and said, you know what, I'm gonna keep this locked and loaded for now.
There's a lot of thugs coming. Holy.
And all over his back line. I mean, there are LLTs everywhere, so I don't think this is going to really achieve much more unless he gathers up all of these Gar pikes. But... it's a pain.
Why did he show the thugs then, I guess, right? I guess he needed to because Blodir's being aggressive.
Blodir's comm's right on the front. If XFactor goes straight for Blodir's comm, Blodir realizes, immediately starts retreating. The pounders are AoEing down
these thugs are really grouped up. They're taking a lot of AoE damage here. Pounders are dying, but
I don't like Blodir's comm on the front line. That is scaring me. Blodir's comm needs to move.
Oh, man.
XFactor is microing down each of these pounders, focus firing them, which he has to do. But
Look
there's a
at the
torpedo
torpedoes,
launcher here.
man.
There's two torpedo launchers, just absolutely obliterating these units. I think Blodir smells blood. I think these torpedo launchers might lock onto XFactor's comm soon.
Yeah, even if they don't. How much metal did XFactor just leave on the ground here? Nearly 4K?
And he can't contest it. Those torpedo launchers shut him down entirely. There is no play he can make.
I'm surprised the amphibious... I guess Blodir's been fully focused on what's happening here. He's making more amphibious tanks, and he's just now gonna start being aggressive with them. Ooh, XFactor is actually swapping to a Ford vehicle lab. I'm curious what
he needs Wolverines to try to break through, and yeah, that's his option, is Wolverines. But do Wolverines out
Wolverines in a BPL game. Mass Wolverine in a BPL game is not what I expected to see, but... yeah,
I don't even outrange Jellyfish. The Jellyfish has the same range.
Yeah.
So every time he moves forward, he's just eating more damage.
There's so many There's 4 torpedoes now on this choke. This is unpushable unless he can find a way to kill those. Oh, I like this.
And all over the back line, more and more problems are created. We see a T2 lab coming out now. C lab as well. Blodir is just fully confident in his position, I think.
Which, wouldn't you be? Entirely. I mean, there's 3,000 metal on his doorstep that is, like, uncontestable.
There's 3,000 metal on the doorstep, and he's got stuff raiding all over the back line. I'd be very happy with this position. I wouldn't be in this position because I don't know. So, if anything, I don't know what XFactor does here. Like, what is the play behind
I don't know.
Do you go for another bombing run? I feel like you have to go for the bombing run play again, but those Gar pikes have broken through. They're going to reach XFactor's main base soon.
And there's even more coming behind it. If you look at it, Blodir's building up another force to break the little more LLT covered positions. And
he's got a TAR coming out. The TAR is nearly finished. This show, like, seeing this, Blodir knows that there's no air switch behind this. He's fully confident.
I see an air lab queued. I see an air lab actually queued for XFactor. I'm curious if he's gonna.
I think it's the only play he has. It's the only play he has. We have the TAR out. I feel like if I'm Blodir after that last game,
Yeah, he has to
I pump
expect
out
this.
2 flags. Yep,
There they are. Okay, yeah.
Bold.
He has to expect this. It just happened to him. It's in the forefront of his brain. He literally, if he died to this, it would be entirely his fault. Okay, like.
Yeah, there would be no excusing that.
Literally no excuses.
And the tar is out, and these Wolverines are about to just get melted. And
ooh, I actually really like Blodir with the herrings. Are going to cover the coastline, going to make it actually even more annoying for any sort of airplay. Holy Czar connections.
Yeah, the Saw has just obliterated what remained of X-Factor's unit mass, and the front door is about to be knocked down by the Saw.
Well, Herring
the
dies.
side doors are already open. We see the bombers queued up, but
yeah,
there is no universe. There is no universe that Blodir lets this happen. If it happens in this universe...
Oh, he's kind of pushing his flak forward. It's getting kind of tickled by those thugs. Thank you, Blodir. Please pull it back.
Please build more flak. Please put 3 flak on your commander.
I mean, this is a little scary. This isn't quite the same situation as the last game, right? X-Factor doesn't quite have the same level of economy. He can't really get the second lab up to start pumping fighters with this. I mean, it is...
He is so committed to the TARs. He has 400 TARs in queue. If this play works again, I will lose my mind.
Okay, this Herring's coming over to mid. Okay, hold on. Blodir is actually making a decent amount of AA. He has Herrings outside of X-Factor's base. He's making Herrings on repeat to cover mid.
The Garpikes might find the bomber
That as
line.
well, yeah. The amphibious tanks are coming in at a pretty opportune moment.
He has the jammer. Okay, Blodir opts for a jammer as well on his commander, but he doesn't have the energy to do both the commander and TAR spam.
He really needs this AGO, but I don't know.
Only 11 bombers out. It's not enough yet, but he has only got 1 flak.
He's got to go. X-Factor has no time.
2 flaks. He has 2 flaks. 2 flaks.
They're moving
There's
forward,
no way
though.
This works.
Both flaks are moving away from Blodir's commander, and Blodir is...
But he is building more flaks. Okay, no. He's getting more flaks out. There are multiple AAs being dropped in his base.
Yeah, the Herrings are spotting it.
He's seen it. The Herrings saw this.
He's flying over Herrings, too, so bombers will die, and it's mass Herring as well.
Yeah, there are multiple flaks now covering his commander. There's no way this works. I feel like this play might have been a little bit
it was a last-ditch effort, right? Like he did. That's kind of what I meant in after last game, right? After you do this once, this is solidly going to be in your opponent's mind, and it's going to be very hard to get away with it.
You can't get away with it again. As soon as you see there's no units coming to the front line, as soon as you feel like the tempo's in your favor. You know what could kill me right now? Is bombers. Let me make sure I don't die to bombers.
Oh, well done for Blodir to recognize once again and not fall for it once again. As we're going into a game 5.
Yeah, game 5 in this first best of 5 in the semifinals between Blodir and X-Factor. These games have delivered. They have been back and forth affairs with some really interesting approaches so far. And I still feel like it kind of holds true with our prediction. Blodir, solid. No real weaknesses. X-Factor, cooking, making up wild plays, making interesting builds, destabilizing his opponent, and seizing any opportunity you give him.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny, right? Like, the builds, while they are creative, they're not always, like, the best, right? Like, they're not always... But that's not, like, the point, right? They are kind of just... like, unsettling your opponent. Or they're, like you know, maybe if they're a more rigid player, they're used to a certain type of play. They run into these cooked builds, and they just kind of fall over, right? They can't handle that. Yeah. I don't think Blodir's that guy, though, right? You know what I mean? Like I think he's consistent enough, he's solid enough. Every single time I feel like he's run into these weird situations, I feel like he has made the correct like gut check, right? He's made the correct decision to counter it.
Exactly. He's so solid at the game that even when he finds himself in an unusual situation, he is responding to it relatively well. And you can definitely fool him once with the wild strategy, but the second time, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult. But Pools of Illis for game 5, we saw, I think this was game 5 as well, of X Factor versus Draxel,
Yeah, with the pawn build.
where X Factor, yeah, pulled out a really nasty arm aggro build. It'll be interesting to see if he goes for it again or if he switches it up.
I really liked that build, all things considered, right? Like we were kind of talking before, right? Before the stream of like, you know, ARM is kind of underrepresented. It hasn't really shown to be very strong in almost any games, and then X Factor just shows up, almost loses. You know, to be fair, that ARM vehicle game that was a little rough versus Raxel. But
yeah, some problems.
He pulled out the ARM bot build, and on Pools of Illis, it looked super strong. Like, it was just hyper aggro. I think he had 2 bot labs just pumping pawns at one point, and it was just overwhelming Raxel. He could not handle the sheer number of just little pawns just all over the map. But I think it is kind of hurting X Factor a little bit that he already had to reveal the trump card, I guess, right, of the desperation bomber play. As
I don't even know if that's a trump card.
Yeah, I don't either.
I think that's one of those things that you'd like to use in a game 5, right? Like, it's the sort of thing you don't want your opponent to be thinking about as a possibility. Yeah. But one benefit here for X Factor is now this strategy of bombing his commander is going to play on his mind in every game, whether or not X Factor is going for it. So in a more even game like we had on Devil's Post Files,
it could be a problem, yeah.
It could give him a small edge and at their level, that small advantage is all you need. So, we'll see. Into game 5 on Pools of Illis.
Well, going into game 5, like you said, oh, right, I didn't hide it, so you guys get to see the kickflip again. Enjoy. Game 5. I'm
having fun with the kickflips.
Dude, this kickflip, I swear, I need to go talk to like Flo or something, figure out why is my game doing this. Help me. But it is kind of. I'm really interested to see the lab choices here. You know, Blodir actually with a little bit. Both of them actually with the map edge spawns.
Both going for this one. I think, was it Blodir that did this? Who was it that we were casting? Someone did this opening where it's not the usual.
I want to say that was Blodir, but it's all kind of blurring together. I'm not gonna lie. I think that was Blodir.
That's kind of blurred together. It looks like we do have ARM commander for X Factor. Blodir spawning in as the Cortex commander. I think Blodir will expect this, though. If I'm honest.
Well, I'm curious if this is going to be any different, right, than X Factor showed in yesterday, right? Like with the pawn overwhelm. If I remember right, he actually used a mid spawn for that yesterday.
Oh, really?
I think, right? He used the 2 mechs directly above where he currently is for that spawn for that build. If I'm remembering correctly, I could be totally wrong here.
Both of them are opting for the bot lab, so we are going to be seeing this hyper aggro play, I imagine.
Yeah, I mean, you're on bots, right? It's kind of your play. It's kind of what you have to do. I feel like as you are just gonna fall behind the grunt v pawn matchup, and once you get into that, and it's just, if you don't have an advantage, it's just not going to be an enjoyable time for you.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be interesting this first few minutes, right? To see who can pull out a slight advantage over the other.
I imagine this is going to be a knife fight, and the first person to make a meaningful mistake is just going to have this game end, unfortunately for them.
And you know, we did see in Horus, that knife fight, that kind of type of game did happen, and it did benefit X Factor as, you know, he got that small little, he's just a couple little good trades, and it kind of just snowballed and wildly out of control.
I will say, I think it's more difficult in the pawn versus grunt matchup.
Yeah.
To force the trades to go so well, because if Blodir is on top of his micro, he will generally come out ahead of the trades, and pawns are more expensive, so he'll have less. But if X Factor finds anything with these ticks, if he can snipe cons, if he can get rid of any excess expansion resbots, little leads, that could quickly snowball against Blodir.
Yeah, Blodir is gonna opt for, it looks like his commander expand. Is he gonna do, wow, 2+2 cons expanding forward. He is going very greedy. XFactor just going for the single 2 con expand, leaving his commander in base for BP. Though look at the amount of units being pumped going across the map. This is looking like this could be a little dangerous for Blodir, as he's playing a little greedier.
It is very greedy, and I think where XFactor should find, if Blodir realizes quickly enough and just keeps pumping grunts defensively, I do think Blodir will enjoy a pretty large economic advantage. But if any of these cons go down on the expansion, first tick falling to the grunt.
Very important.
Yeah, and Blodir doing a really good job. This radar that he has giving him perfect information on what's in front of him. It's going to come down to these pawns on the flank, right? If they snipe out this con that's expanding and deny that area, good things are going to come XFactor's way. But if he doesn't find damage in the next minute, I'd guess, minute and a half.
Yeah, look at the stats, right? Like economically, he's already starting to fall behind. Army value is his only thing he has an advantage.
Is going to catch. Oh, Blodir responding instantly when he sees these pawns.
I mean, look, this is game 5 and a best of 5. This is an important one, man. And he's Resbot's right there as well. Once it eats the crystals, could even start resing that grunt.
And this should be good for Blodir if he micros it, but that fight is ongoing. But to the south, we also see pressure. XFactor does win the trades, but the Resbot's right there. No casualties taken. Nothing sneaks through. Blodir locking down his base relatively quickly. Is e-stalling due to rezzing and radars. One tick gets through, and this is actually opening the door for the pawns.
And it looks like it should get caught.
But no damage coming out of it yet. Blodir currently on top of these defenses.
Look how many pawns are coming across the map.
Not letting anything through. Armed mexes are going down in the middle. If Blodir can keep holding, keep this defensive line, just turtle his shell up here. He's good.
So many pawns in mid. I mean, Blodir is redirecting a lot of his grunts down. The exploiter will help.
Armed mex is going to be up. And if his grunts arrive here before this pawn wave... Oh, that e-stall could be big. One of the ticks goes down. Blodir's grunts are on the front line. I think with this radar actually e-stalling him again.
He's going to even stop rezzing, bring the resbot back, start eating some crystals, as this is a desperate moment where he cannot afford to be I think
he's fine. XFactor's pulling back. Blodir cleaned out the raiding group on the top right-hand side. His com's got a free expansion path. Both players are suffering in terms of energy, and XFactor's just on a full retreat.
Yeah, I think Blodir's defended this really well, right? He was in a dangerous position, kind of like just aggression happening all over the map, and frankly, he didn't lose anything. He defended that very well.
He took no damage. There's no lasting damage. You didn't lose a con, you didn't lose a max. Nothing went wrong for him, and he's now the one who's going to start putting counter pressure. And grunts trade really, really well into pawns if you don't get the forced engage because of the range advantage. And you see XFactor just cannot engage. And Blodir, even running in, doesn't take bad casualties. And I think...
It's so dangerous, right? Like, a brief
Blodir
moment...
wants this con.
He should.
Blodir wants this con so badly,
and he should get it.
He gets it.
With good micro,
and if he doesn't get it, he
micro.
gets such good trades, just constantly good trades. I don't think he's going to get it. It looks like XFactor's maybe escorted it away. But even on the right-hand side, he's still getting good trades going, and he's just winning the trades everywhere. Finally, XFactor gets the cleanup on this right-hand side, but there's an armed mech already set up, so there's no pressure. Ooh, this is a bit of an over-engage. But even now, it's like 8 pawns or 8 grunts shooting versus 4 pawns, so it's not bad, but these wrecks are on XFactor's side of the field.
I see a resbot coming over on the minimap. It looks like Blodir already recognizes the threat of leaving those wrecks there and is smart enough to bring a resbot over. XFactor looks like he's walking his calm in that direction, as he also recognizes this is important.
He realizes he needs this metal. This is definitely... I think he can feel that the game has not gone how you would have wanted it to go, and I think both players are going to start thinking about how they move out of this phase.
Oh, man.
But this isn't even a lot of metal on the ground, and as long as... If Blodir keeps trading well here, I don't think he really cares. He's winning the right side flank as well again.
He started reclaiming. Oh, it looks like maybe an overcommitment in mid. It's really hard to say. It's so hard to tell because it's grunts, right? Like they kind of just hard out trade pawns in these little back and forths.
Yeah, pawns just cannot trade, and this is like why you don't see why Arm is suffering, right? Is this matchup is so brutal once it goes badly.
No, okay.
And on the right hand side, XFactor's losing his con.
Oh,
his
man.
expansion con goes down. Blodir is possibly even going to find a full run in, and he's ate half of the metal in middle. I think Blodir's smiling at this moment in time. I mean, he is super happy with this.
XFactor is going to get about 400 to 500 metal from this, about 400-ish, right? And does that matter? Like, Blodir is up about 1,000. He's up in army value, he's up in energy, he's up in metal a second.
And
map control, he's
right
up in everything.
Is a problem.
And Blodir behind this is already swapped off of bots. He's his tank lab up, and incisors are just being pumped.
Do you think Blodir starts worrying about
the bombers? Yeah, like, when do we reach that point where we have to worry about XFactor's going to show up with 25 bombers? Ooh, the mech stealthy. I think the cancel there, actually. Blodir, a little stutter step backwards.
And you just can't fight this. There's too many grunts here now. Like, as the numbers go up, it becomes more and more unplayable for the pawn player. The LLT is the only thing that keeps these trades going, well, decent engaged, but on the kite back, he just loses more units.
I kind of...
And the resbot's here for Blodir.
Oh, man.
The resbot's here to eat everything.
And look at the incisors. I kind of feel like, you know, in a game 5, going arm is a bold choice, but like, this is a dangerous
anyone's
position.
going to do it, it's XFactor, and he showed it's dangerous. He pulled it off against Draxel in that reverse sweep that he did, but...
Oh, this is getting messy on this right side. XFactor is running out of units, but that LLT is actually really paying for itself.
Yeah, that LLT is killing everything, but incisors are about to start arriving. The LLT, I almost feel like you might just see a commitment in here to snipe out the LLT, but he doesn't even need to. The incisors arrive, the trades start going even more in his favor.
Yeah,
there is a lot of metal on the ground. This LLT needs to die
This is a crazy
soon.
commitment, man. I mean, like, he's gonna kill the LLT, and I think once the LLT dies,
But
yeah, for sure. The resbot's already there.
The resbot is eating. The game is... This is dire. I don't know what you do as XFactor. Like, I was joking when I said the bomber switch. You can't even afford the time for it.
All I know is Blodir, I'm going to take my commander, I'm going to walk back to my base, and I'm going to put in a jammer, okay? Like, this is that kind of situation. He really...
You put it in one of the pools.
You put it in a pool.
The Blodir of the lake.
Like,
Blodir of the lake will live this time.
XFactor swapped to a two bot lab, but like he's two bot labs making pawns versus incisor grunt with this resbot getting all of this reclaim.
If there's anything that could run it back, it is just like catching Blodir on an overcommitment and just running him over with pawns, but I feel like, yeah, Blodir already switching into an air lab identifies that, you know what? What if I bomb you again?
And honestly, at this point, do you even
bomb?
bomb? Oh, I actually really like from XFactor seeing the Centurions getting pumped out, as this is a relatively little choke point, and this should push. Oh, he's actually going to make like
Centurions
what, 2
will be good.
But it should push back Blodir at least a little bit and make it far harder for Blodir to commit on these pawns.
But I mean, Blodir got all the reclaim. He's got a 6,000 metal lead 10 minutes into the game.
Yeah, and the bombers are starting to stack up, and I think once Blodir goes for, I'm assuming economy at this point, is going for a calm snipe is kind of insane.
I feel like he does economy, but I feel like there's probably a small part of ego.
Oh, an
saying,
ego?
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I could do in this game?
Ooh, Centurion needs to be a little careful here.
Is getting run down, but can't commit onto it. Centurions do trade really well, and we see 5 Centurions. Autopilot showed that Centurions are beastly units on the defense.
Especially with like pawns backing them up, so you can't even like surround the Centurions. You can't
engage.
You'll just die. Like, this is a really rough comp for Blodir to fight into.
Yeah,
but...
only making the about 4 bombers again. Pretty much the reflection of the Arkham Cats game. Sends the scout in. Will it get past all the LLTs? It might. The scout actually goes
died
down.
to LLTs. That's actually really annoying for Blodir, as he now has to bomb blindly.
But he can have a decent guess. He's gonna miss though, actually, on the first bombing runs. Adjusted bombing run, finding value, taking out multiple wins.
Yeah, although the bombers actually not dropping their bombs. A little bit miss micro there. He should, with the return pass,
still
should
gets
get
another wave.
Ooh, well,
And
this is happening. He's going to dive on the Centurions and kill a couple of them.
It does take 2 of them down, 3 of the Centurions going down, forced to disengage, but he has medium tanks on the front line. He is starting to break the defensive line in the front with medium tanks.
I love how many fighters Blodir's making now. This man is actually, like, you know, he knows the danger.
I told you, it plays on his head, right? Like, you have to sit there being like, man, my game state is so good.
I mean, it's
what
smart.
could possibly lose this game for me?
When you're in this position, right, when you are like, you're wildly ahead, you know you're wildly ahead, he's making exploiters on XFactor's side of the map, you have to start thinking to yourself, okay, how do I lose this? And it's like, okay, it's just his commander dying. I don't think he's in any danger of losing the rec field here. He's not in danger of getting raided. He's a substantial army value lead. He just can't lose his commander. XFactor's gonna call it.
XFactor taps out. GG.
Wow.
You're perfectly on with your prediction. 3-2 to Blodir, and honestly, a crazy set of games.
It could have gone either way. It really could have. That was a wild set. As realistically, I mean, I really like that XFactor was willing to pull out the arm, right? He was willing to pull it out. In a game 5 semi-final match, but it really showed that ARM is just, if you're against somebody that can react well enough, it is just kind of impossible. Like, how do you fight that?
It's such an uphill fight as the ARM player in the early game. I feel like probably if you can get past that initial Grunt vs Pawn matchup or Incisor vs Blitz matchup, you're fighting on relatively even terms, but that early game is just suffering, and we saw XFactor tried. He tried really hard to be aggro. Blodir went for a relatively greedy opening, in all honesty.
Defended it well.
And he just perfect defenses, the grunts, lost a few grunts, chewed away the pawns, and res-botted anything that he lost. And the game was kind of over at that point, unfortunately, for XFactor.
Well, I mean, if we just saw one good set, I mean, well, let's go look, and we have to go see